The Alexander Faribault House. This is one of the buildings that we at the Rice County Historical Society have the fortune of taking care of. And specifically we're here because this week in history, June 22nd, 1806, is when Alexander Faribault was born. He's of course the namesake for the city, Faribault, but his connection to Minnesota is actually quite extensive. As a modern-day Henry Sibley historian has put, Alexander Faribault was one of Minnesota's most influential early settlers. Alexander was born to Jean-Baptiste Faribault. Jean-Baptiste was a French-Canadian fur trader, and Jean-Baptiste's wife, Pelagie, was the daughter of a Dakota chief who had family ties to St. Peter and Winona. That family connection would be one of the most influential connections that Alexander would have throughout his life. The War of 1812 doesn't seem like something that would be connected here, but it really is, because the British attacked into Wisconsin and actually burned Prairie du Chien, Wisconsin. Alexander's father was captured, but the key for us today is that Alexander and his little sister Lucy and his mother escaped. They boated up the Mississippi to the Winona and were hidden there throughout the remainder of the war. This means that Alexander, at the age of 6 until he was about 9 or 10 years old, lived exclusively with the Dakota, lived their lifestyle, lived with them, of course, spoke the language. As you can imagine, his first language was Dakota. His second language was French, and it was his third language that was English. After the war, Jean-Baptiste was released, and the family followed the soldiers to the new land that was going to be now, today, Fort Snelling. When he became an adult, he followed in his father's footsteps and became a fur trader. The reason that Faribault is where it is today was because his responsibility was to establish a fur trading post in what is now Rice County area, and by 1834, he moved his fur trading post to a permanent location where the Strait and the Cannon Rivers meet. As the fur trade began to wane, Alexander shifted into other business activities. He was the translator for the treaties of 1851 and treaties of Traverse de Sioux and Mendota. Locally, he was a banker, he was a miller, and he was really a developer, giving land and money to organizations, the cathedral, the church, and so on, to really help Faribault grow. His story is complicated and very interesting, and we'll certainly talk more about Alexander at another time. For now, we're the Rice County Historical Society, preserving the past for future generations.